So first of all, my name is Jean-Paul Hengen from Luxinnovation, the National Agency for Innovation and Research here in Luxembourg. And due to that, of course, we are very interested in all the topics related to cloud services and products. So the reason of this panel discussion is, well, deploying cloud apps and services to mobile. And so I would ask now the other three colleagues to tell us a little bit more about what they have done and what their application is all about and how they did their project. So we would need the presentations. Which one is the first we have or might have on the screen?
So thank you. Thanks for joining our session. So I'd like to talk a little bit about Mobile Engine, which is a leader in mobile field workflow solutions. It's a cloud system, and I would like to tell you on how an innovative product in the cloud can have an innovative business model and an innovative sales model enabled by a new technology. So yes, so first of all, what do we do? So we have enterprise customers who have mobile field teams, and we help their workflow management. So we have 4 typical use cases. Altogether, we have around 1,000 customers with a variety of use cases, but 4 typical ones. One is in the security industry, where we have a reference from G4S. Basically, they're sales agent, not their sales agents, they're security agents checking ATM machines or going to banks and doing the money logistics, so to say, are using their mobile phones to get their tasks and to report on their tasks and to basically have all their work tracked, and they work with far less paper than they used to work. The next area is logistics, where we have, I think that's top 5 European logistics company, Waberers International. They are driving trucks all around. You can see them on the highways with blue trucks and the yellow sun on them, and they are really slow, and you'll probably get annoyed. Well, they will get even slower because now they're using their mobile phone while driving. They are taking pictures of delivery notes which they received from warehouses or wherever. They send them back right away, and they are quickening their invoicing cycle. And they are also taking pictures of accidents that they have with you or with others on the highway. And they are also sending it to the insurance company right away, and they are reporting on various activities. Obviously, they are managing some 3,000 trucks all around Europe. It's quite a management task, and we help them with mobile technology. Then we have a financial sector. We have a Hungarian use case, OTP, the largest local bank, which has sales agents to sell loan and to have loan pre-agreements signed on the mobile phone. And they have another team which is collecting this debt from people who don't want to pay their debt. And they're visiting their homes, and they're knocking on the door and asking if they are still at home. They are taking pictures of the cars which have a leasing contract not paid and so on. So very nice people. And we have a 4th area that's a traditional Salesforce automation. That's where most of our competition is. And we have companies like Hengen who have the traditional stuff of their field sales team going to stores, taking pictures of shelves, checking distribution, writing about pricing and so on. And we have a company representing our 4th, that's 5. We have 5th use case, which is timesheet management. Siemens, globally using the product, has their engineers working all around in field areas, doing some engineering works. They report about their project, what they did today, and so on. They have the customer on site sign on the screen that yes, you did work here 2 hours on this job. Then their managers somewhere else also signing off on the screen that yes, I agree that this week you worked 110 hours. And their goal is that they can build a customer faster. They have a much bigger proof that they did the job, and they don't have any paperwork. And they, as they say, we do our timesheet while we are in the elevator. So they are usually doing it in 2 minutes, and they can work more. So why are we different? The objective of our company is to turn a software development business into a service business. So many of you are also probably have experience. We're going to hear a great experience about how to develop a mobile software. Well, we enable our customers to have a mobile workflow management system without any software development. So when we have an enterprise customer, we customize his solution without software development. We basically understand his quite complex workflow process requirements, mobile UI requirements, mobile form requirements, data structures, and so on, and we deploy their solution in a matter of days or maybe weeks. Yet we can handle complex tasks, complex workflows, and complex business intelligence on the mobile phone. We have native solutions. We have cloud deployment in most of our cases, but obviously in banking and security industry, they rather prefer on-premise installation. But I think the cloud business has advantages also if you have on-premise installations, because we are using many cloud services to manage those servers, and we couldn't manage them without having a cloud infrastructure in the background. Yeah, and we have obviously very easy integration to other ERP systems. Yeah, this is a boring slide about how nice our system is. So we have basically a very well advanced, we would like to claim that we are the world's most advanced mobile form technology. So we can do anything on a mobile form, anything you can imagine. Yeah, business logic, interaction, offline databases, timestamp. We have a patent pending timestamp, so you cannot fake the time. Geostamp, signature, barcode, RFID, you name it. And yeah, and then we have a nice back office and so on. And we can even generate you reports. And we have a workflow engine as well, but it's quite a boring site. Yeah, about our business, our innovation, but I think this is nothing new. We would like the telcos and our partners to sell our product. We would like them to keep their customers. And here I mentioned only the telcos. But that's so let me talk first about the telcos and then about software developers opportunity. So we have now 5 telcos. Okay, so last minute. So basically we want to enable telcos to sell to their enterprise customers, and we would like to enable you guys as well, anybody who has a great software, maybe a cloud application or whatever, to have a mobile extension, because we also have, obviously, as a middleware, a white label solution, so you can have the best technology on the mobile and make your money in your back office system. So closing slides. And yeah, and the last thought, as you see, we are mostly in Eastern Europe or Eastern and Central Europe. We'd love to have some Western European partners, and we just signed last week with an investor, so we are going to have finally some more cash to have offices in Western Europe, so hope to make business with you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so we will have now the second or the third presentation from one of the panelists. Could we have the presentation online, please? Okay, so Alain, here you go.
Hi, good morning. I'm Alain Mevellec. I'm a founder at Invocate. Invocate is a startup. And we make an invoicing application, a SaaS invoicing application. And I want to tell you our story going from our web application to mobile. And we did it pretty fast, and tell you how we did it and what are the results that I would need. Okay, so I won't speak that much on Invocate. To do it quick, it's a SaaS invoicing software, so we deal with company data like invoice and estimates, order forms, everything. You have contacts, your clients, and you have a catalog with your products and your product prices. So it's business critical information. So from the very beginning, we knew that we really had to do something on the mobile because it had a real benefit for the end user to have all this company data in the pocket, it's pretty obvious. But when we launched in 2009, it was pretty hard to do a mobile application because applications were written in native languages, so Objective-C for Apple and Java for Android. So as it was a craze for mobile applications, developers were in high demand, so expensive. And our app, which is an invoicing app, is pretty hard to code because you do all the calculations, add lines, discounts and everything, so it's pretty hard to code. And we didn't have a real benefit from native because we don't need the power of the CPU of a mobile phone. We are a web application, so we want to do the same on the mobile. So we kept an eye on the technology evolutions, and we discovered the PhoneGap framework, which is an open source framework. So it's free, it's cool, and it lets you package web application like native applications. So it means you do your web application in HTML5, and after you can release it on app stores, Android store, and everything. And as HTML5, it's the same code for all the platforms, so for us it was really easier to maintain and everything. But we didn't have the tools to make the user interface because touch control is different from mouse control, so we had to do all the buttons and everything. So we decided to wait a little more, and we saw arrive jQuery Mobile, which is a framework that lets you do very quickly a touch interface with pre-built objects. So we say, okay, now with PhoneGap and jQuery, we might give it a try to do quickly something. So we tried. We started to code, and the second thing we did is using our API, and I really recommend this to everybody. Because using your API, you don't mess with your core software. You stay, it stays only for the web, and you improve your API because by doing it with your API, you soon get the problems of your API because you are in a real life situation. So we did it only with our API. The mobile app doesn't touch the core software. Second choice was to do something really small, really fast. So we did only with core features of the application. I mean, accessing my documents, creating a document, but with basic set of feature. But we wanted to have the application quick, test it on the market, and then maybe move forward. So we had the app ready in a very few months, and we started to want to deploy it on app stores, which was for us very interesting. And for Android, it's really fast. You just post your app and it's live. It's just no problem. With Apple, it's pretty different. Every validation is pretty long. You can, 2 weeks is a minimum. But the real problem we had was a business model conflict because in our mind, we wanted to make the application access an option on our billing model on the web. And it's not possible with Apple. They don't want you to sell your application through your model, but through their app store model. So we had to rethink the business model, as you said, at the last minute. And we decided to separate completely mobile billing from web billing. So if you're a web customer, you pay a subscription. If you're a mobile user, you pay a subscription. And if you use both, you pay both. So we decided to go that way and see how it would evolve. And of course, all the app subscription goes through Apple and Google, and they get 30% of the income. But we saw very good marketing benefits when we launched the app. First, our app has a 15-day trial, so it's a free download, so people download it very easily. We have no acquisition cost for App Store users. Okay, we have a 30% share for Apple and Google, but it costs us zero to get these new customers. We discovered that we soon had standalone mobile users, people that would never go to the website, they just use it that way in school for us. But we also saw that mobile users will likely test the web application and maybe subscribe on it. And in the first week, we had a customer, it's a good example, he registered to the service through his mobile, and by the end of the week, he paid 1,500 euros on the website for he and his team and everything. So for us, it's a new marketing channel, not only for the mobile, but for the whole application. So it's very good, especially since we launched our English version in early September. We have an English version for the mobile applications too. It's helped us building an international audience that we wouldn't have, we couldn't get in any way without it. We have people in Czechoslovakia, in China, everywhere.
Time is running.
Well, okay, just to end on the results. We have now 30% of our existing customers using the the mobile application. Speaking of our traditional users, so we are waiting for it. We saw 20% increase in leads generation thanks to the app stores, and that's really good. And we got quick international reach. So as far as today, is good for us. And we will, in the future, improve the application using the GPS, the camera, everything on the phone, and extend it to new platforms like BlackBerry or Windows Phone. Here is our experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Alain. So while loading the last presentation for Felix, are there perhaps in the meantime some questions?
When I say leads, I mean registrations. So it's more than leads. It's people creating an account.
I know 20% of how much? 20% of what?
We have something like 1,000, 1,500 every month.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Felix, it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay, so what I will talk today about, it's not so much a presentation of what my company does, but rather a look onto what are the aspects that are often overlooked in deploying and developing applications, and what cloud, first of all, cloud infrastructure provider, and second, users or companies building software as a service that use this infrastructure need to be aware when they develop applications, either running on mobile or simply on the web. And as it's very clear, everybody that develops an application or comes with an idea for software as a service type of service, they are driven by the need to generate revenue out of it. And what's usually the case, or I don't know of any provider, infrastructure provider that offers this kind of monetization as a service built into the platform, meaning that in theory, since monetization can come in a lot of forms, like you can have a revenue generated through affiliate commissions, or you can have revenue generated to presenting ads to the visitors, or simply having a subscription-based service. What's very often missing is it's a fabric, it's a payment capability that is built into the platform. So that you as a developer find it very easy to actually build a service that you can charge for, or at least can generate revenue in a very short time. And this goes back a bit to the discussion this morning about the risk in developing services. And if you consider this, I mean, one of the reasons why we see or apparently see an inflation of new services and new startups today is the fact that it's very easy to build a startup today. I mean, 10 years ago in the previous dot-com bubble, in order to found a startup, you need to start with, I don't know, let's say very optimistically, $1 million, of which 800,000 you would spend on hardware infrastructure, switching, and so on. Today, it's very easy to build a startup, and the philosophy that needs to be kept into mind by all the providers is that if we make it very easy for people to test their ideas with minimal impact, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll reach a stage where a person can build three applications in a week. So it doesn't matter if one of or all three of these applications will fail, because the efforts put into this, because the infrastructure is already at a high level, so the capabilities provided are already at a high level, it will be minimum. So we will talk about, I don't know, 300 euros spent on it. So second, or from the point of view of the people that are actually building these applications, what's important to note is that this application needs to eliminate any context shift, meaning that if you have an application that it's on mobile, every interaction with the user needs to be on mobile. So don't send the user, okay, so you register for our service, now you have to go to the bank to pay for this. This is a major dropout in conversion. And of course, this leads to what I like to call the frictionless commerce part of thing, where everything happens in the same environment, in a seamless way.
Thank you very much, Felix. Before starting perhaps with the questions you might have, well, we heard now a lot about mobilizing, monetization, e-payment, invoicing. That is certainly also a topic that interests us here in Luxembourg. What is there the link between mobile payment and also e-invoicing? Because, well, you have there now two applications. Couldn't there be a combination of both?
Yes, it could, and it will probably, because on the website we already offer our customers the ability to have their invoice paid by their clients with a credit card company that process it for us. So why not do it on the mobile phone? I mean, it's logical.
Yeah, so I would complete this to say that in the context of invoicing, payment is actually a complement. It's a very natural complement of the flow that the user has to perform. And
in what sense can technology help you in order to continue? Because we see here in Luxembourg actors with QR codes. There is a lot of discussions about NFC. Are these trends also topics for you? And do you also need to take advantage of research centers and universities in order to do research before coming up with new trends and applications and services?
I think that, from a pure commercial perspective, any technology that comes out of the door of any research center needs to be let's say, field proven before it's has a wide adoption. And as a very specific case is with NFC. NFC, even though it has the weight of the big payment schemes behind, like Visa and MasterCard, it still lacks in adoption, and this is because on one side, they require some infrastructure upgrades, and on the other side, there is, at least with NFC, there is an inherent security risk. And you probably read every second week about some new method in which you can, let's say, skim the payment instruments out of someone's NFC-enabled card. So they need to advance more.
Regarding NFC and barcodes, we had a university research on that topic, I think, 4 years ago. It was one of our first research projects. We had some of our colleagues from that university as well. And today, after that project, we had a proof of concept, and now we use it actually with many customers, not for payment, but for example, in logistics, they scan the barcode, the QR code of certain products when taking it on. NFC has not been so popular so far. I think there is still technical problems before it gets really easy to use. To read a barcode, within our application, it's one click. It reads it in half a second, and then you can go on and you can get lots of data from that. And with NFC, you have to turn on the NFC. Otherwise, if it's on all the time, that your battery goes down. So it's a bit more cumbersome, but barcodes are used by many of our customers as part of their workflow process. They read the barcodes of products, of contracts. That's very interesting. They read the barcodes of a certain contract. Then they have immediately all the data about that contract filled out, and they just need to change a few things, press OK, and you have a new contract, as an example.
Okay, thank you. Patrick, how do you see the trends and opportunities in that specific area, also linked perhaps to your project?
You're talking about NVC or
the global trends.
Global trends. Oh,
yeah.
I think there's a massive opportunity in this market. All you have to do now is ask for people to raise their hands. Who here has a mobile device? If you raise your hands, I think everybody today has a mobile device, and I think any applications that us here separately produce, I don't specifically have NVC, but I know that some of our products already have the need for barcode scanning, because things like contracts and bills and things are needing to be processed by ERP systems, and we have an ERP. Our on-premises already does it, but our SaaS cloud computing software still doesn't. So I think there's massive potential for any sort of software that's being deployed, mobile applications deployed via mobile devices.
Okay, thank you. I would then open the floor to your questions. Are there any questions you might ask?
Well, I can probably speak fine with that microphone.
Fine with me.
Alain, it may be specific to you, but probably for everybody. You move from a web application to then selling your product or creating a mobile application. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of mobile applications, and very few routes to market. The App Store, Google Play, you mentioned two of them. Have you had to adjust the way that you market to your target client base?
I was
in order to raise the visibility of the mobile app as opposed to the web.
I was thinking exactly like you before launching the application, and in fact, in our specific business, there are not that much applications. You have maybe thousands, but not in our sector, and we are surprised by the results. So far, we did it a little as a side project. It was only one person that did the application, and we just put it and try, and we just have to it was a consultation that it's that much lead, but we're not starting to market this specifically. We do AdWords campaign toward mobiles and everything, but in the beginning we just launched the app and say, let's see what it. But when you search for invoicing in the App Store, you don't have that much results.
Okay. But when someone searches for invoicing, they will find your application.
Yeah,
find that
definitely.
Okay.
I think it's also the question, who's your audience? What size of customers? We started on the Apple App Store a few years back, and we received customers with 2, 3, 4 users. Maybe in the US, higher numbers, maybe 20 users. There's, depending on the product, in our product there is little money to be made. And also if you talk about customization, it's almost not feasible. And when you talk about large companies, even if it's a mobile product, they're not going to look on mobile, because obviously they have a project to look for the right product, and they have a table to sit down while they're looking for that, right? So they can have a PC. So in the end, we found that to get enterprise customers, the app stores are not a channel. You need the good old direct sales.
Yeah, I would like to compliment on that. I think it's very true. You really, there was a massive change in our company. We went from using our partner network of over 350 partners to sell our on-premises solutions, to then producing our SaaS cloud computing solution, and then actually having to sell it directly internationally. And we saw a huge difference in the way you do that, specifically in the type of marketing you engage in. SEO, things like Google AdWords, and the amount of different things you have to do in your marketing to get to the right audience, because the audience is completely different, and the needs they have are different, the prices are different. There's so many things that you need to consider that previously you didn't. We're not in the app stores because we still don't have an app, but we have ERP and CRM and things like that, and we find it very, very, very different to the traditional model of selling software on it being online or anywhere else. But selling to mobile devices presents a very, very large challenge, and the way you engage with the audience.
One question, Mitya from XLab, a question for Felix. You mentioned affiliate sales. How does the European legislation on cookies influence this? How are you able to track customers? How are you able to give a percentage of sales?
First of all, even though I know that there is a regulation, and I've started to see at a lot of sites that I visit this warning now, I'm sure that with, at least for instance in the perimeter of the same country, you can do this. But the point I was trying to make was not specifically about how to enable affiliate sales for this, but rather as an infrastructure provider to pay attention to all the monetization capabilities that are out there for an application in general, and try to abstractize it in your fabric so that it's available to the applications that will be deployed. And then, of course, you'll need to take into consideration any of the restriction that might appear, like you need to follow this, to observe this regulation, and this means some restrictions or some things that need to be additionally enforced. But I'm just talking as a general concept. I don't have any specific particular details about how would one implement that.
Okay, we have 1 last minute left for one last question. Is there anyone who wants to take that opportunity? Yes. Also for one comment then, yes.
Patrick. Yeah.
We are bringing a compliance platform into the market for SMEs, and dealing with integrated management, knowledge management, collaboration. And there, our experience is that particularly SMEs, they are reacting not positively to the word cloud. They are reacting very positively and they buy when we say software as a service. It's a sort of psychological moment, because the cloud, we give them the feeling we do not know where their data are. And when we are talking about very sensible information of a company, they want to know where we are. And when they tell them it is in Luxembourg, it is a bank security environment, then everything is fine. So cloud we might make a difference
I completely agree with you. I think the word we most use at our company is evangelization, and that's internal as well. We've been around for 22 years to convince the people in our own company that cloud computing and SaaS is the way forward was a massive challenge. But when we say use cloud computing, I was meaning as in even SaaS, just don't be afraid to say it, and many people still are. Initially, we would not even put cloud computing anywhere in our communications, nothing, zero. Now we actually have a section in the bottom note of our website where it does say cloud computing and what it is and explains what it is. But I tend to agree with you that people are still very scared, but that's what I also was saying, that there's a lot of confusion in the market. The dust is up, it's not settled. A lot of people don't know what cloud computing really is. Is it a cloud? What is it? A lot of people don't understand it. So I think there's a lot of education and evangelization to be made and from what you're saying.